Breadtube serves degeneracy. Sexual commodification, parasocial extraction, and the collapse of pair bonding by Kevin Dave Mayo II. Eerie life, health, and surety. Power to the people. An ominous but increasingly visible set of institutions, including major digital platforms, non-governmental organizations, academia, philanthropy, advertising firms, and media companies alike, are reliably and aggressively pushing cultural norms that result in sexual commodification, parasocial monetization, and social degeneracy. These institutions openly promote industries such as OnlyFans, live streaming, and celebrity-centric entertainment as aspirational life paths, despite the fact that they are only statistically pipe dreams for the overwhelming majority of participants. The promise is always visible: money, validation, and escape. But it's just perpetually always out of reach. And that gap isn't empowerment. That's energy theft. The system extracts emotional, sexual, and psychological labor by dangling proximity to status and income while ensuring that only a microscopic minority ever reach stability. Everyone else is kept producing, performing, and degrading themselves for attention that never hardens into security. This outcome cannot be explained by laissez-faire capitalism alone. Markets here are responding to upstream governance, legitimacy incentives, algorithmic visibility, rules, institutional ideology, and cultural enforcement mechanisms. It can feel as though this is being guided by some hidden hand, but it's not. I want to be abundantly clear, though, however. I cannot prove that intelligence services or state actors directly designed, operated, or control these cultural pipelines. I will not claim that here. Any such claim would require evidence beyond cultural analysis. What can be demonstrated, however, is this. Online opposition can and repeatedly has been bought, absorbed, funded, redirected, and rendered harmless. Algorithms and capital flows determine what's going to be visible, respectable, and rewarded. Over time, this produces alignment without the overt need for coordination. A system does not require conspiracy once ideology and incentives are aligned. Like, the actors that you want to control will just follow their ideologies and listen to their incentives. There's one dominant cultural pipeline producing 3 interchangeable products, open to anyone over the age of 18, regardless of gender. OnlyFans and adjacent pornography platforms, streaming of all kind, and rap and celebrity performance culture. All 3 monetize the same core elements: parasocial proximity, social adjacency, curated sexual politics, emotional extraction from isolation. None of these platforms explicitly or even primarily sell sex, entertainment, or music. They all sell simulated intimacy and manufactured relevance. This pipeline is justified by an ideology best described as sexual liberalism fused with rugged individualism. There is nothing therapeutic about isolation. Privacy has value. Atomization does not. The core belief of this ideology is simple and relentlessly enforced. Shame is violence. Boundaries are oppression. Commodification is empowerment. And dissent is harm. Restraint is reframed as pathology, and discipline is reframed as abuse. Moral criticism is reframed as cruelty. This ideology is not culturally neutral, and it's not traditionally American. We did not once live in a society where every woman aspired to be Marilyn Monroe simply because Marilyn Monroe existed. There were exceptions, not a mandate. What we see now is a mass cultural push towards exhibitionism framed as freedom. And philanthropy plays a stabilizing role in laundering morally questionable income streams through public generosity. See what I did there? Anyone who watched Snowfall or grew up in a black neighborhood during the drug epidemic recognized the pattern. A man beats someone over $200 one week, and then next week he buys ice cream for the kids in the park. The ice cream doesn't erase the violence. The good does not negate the harm. And there's nothing that can retroactively make a wrong right simply because a righteous act followed it. Charity does not cleanse exploitation, and sin does not become virtue through redistribution. This is exactly how we should respond when exploitative platforms or individuals are praised because some of the proceeds were used for good. If you were popping pussy explicitly to get water to your community, maybe, but I mean, still, no, that's fucked up. It's just backwards as fuck, man. The platform economy, Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, and whatever the hell comes next, has successfully displaced pair bonding. Two people naturally meeting, talking, and negotiating attraction has been replaced by engagement incentives. Why invest in a private relationship when public validation scales infinitely and pays? The cascade is predictable. Social media leads to performative identity, and that leads to monetized desirability, and that unfortunately leads to streaming, OnlyFans, or some sort of rapper celebrity culture. The anecdote now sounds mundane. I know someone who made $500 off feet pics. Former child actresses creating OnlyFans accounts. Aging celebrities such as Stacey Dash or FBG Duck's mom entering the space. Low barrier, low shame money collapses moral resistance. Nobody's immune to corruption. And once that threshold is crossed, if a boyfriend hesitates or objects to a woman, in her eyes, reaching out for more agency, the relationship is already over. Not emotionally, but economically. It doesn't matter if that man's making $200,000 a year. You could potentially make $80 million a year, just like Sophia Rain. And at that point, she no longer participates in a family-oriented economy. She's been mentally, verbally, and spiritually repossessed by market logic where her value is reduced to her beauty, her agency, and her ability to produce content related to her beauty and her agency. Once this degenerate mindset enters, she no longer belongs to the man. She belongs to the market. Streaming follows the same logic as OnlyFans, minus nudity. Attention becomes currency, loneliness becomes leverage, emotional reaction becomes revenue, and we have a lot of OnlyFans creators that utilize streaming platforms as ways to get to as ways to soft sell their content, because wouldn't you want to watch a chick play Apex Legends in her underwear instead of watching My Ugly Mug? But outside of that, outside of the porn star infiltration with streamers and content creators, subscriptions, donations, super chats, and communities, those aren't communities at all. They're transactional intimacy loops where viewers fund relevance in exchange for recognition. The streamer performs accessibility, the audience performs loyalty, and the platform extracts the rent. The viewer is not a customer. He's an emotionally invested producer financing the streamer's lifestyle. Rap completes the triangle. Rap has always been aspirational. Hip hop, being a dance, an EDM DJ. I'm saying rap because I'm black. Every kid dreams of being remembered, though. You know what I mean? Like, every kid dreams of rapping or making it to the league. Rap is that low effort but high talent career that offers less cultural expression and more status mythology. Most participants aren't rewarded for originality or authorship. They're rewarded for performing scripts, for saying what's popular, for reading society's script, pop some perks, fuck that nigga's bitch, shoot that motherfucker. In exchange, they receive visibility without continuity, power without legacy, and fame without roots. Even when an artist succeeds, the money leaves the community. The money that he generates leaves the community. Revenue flows upward into labels, platforms, and corporate centers rather than circulating locally. These industries offer triumph without continuity, success without family, and pleasure without consequence. They mirror the same market logic applied to sex and parasocial access. What we are living under is a managed moral economy. It discourages pair bonding. It converts intimacy into content. If you're lucky enough to find a girlfriend, you better start a YouTube channel with her about how much you guys love each other. It replaces family formation with virality. It trains everyone to brand themselves. It rewards exhibitionism, and it punishes restraint and modesty. And it accomplishes all this without force, only incentives. This system does not require coordination. Ideology and incentives do all the work.